Now, next thing, but I want to show you in a similar manner, you can connect it using graphical user interface. How? Click on this plus icon. This is my SQL Workbench. Just provide a connection name, anything. It's just a logical name. So I'm giving a name called RDS Con. In the host name, obviously you have to provide a host name. Host name is an endpoint. Take it and paste it here. Okay. Username would be MySQL 2025 and password will also be MySQL 2025 or any other password which you have given, obviously. Okay. Set test connection. You can see successfully made the MySQL connection. How? For the demo purpose, I had made my database instance publicly accessible. Say OK and OK again. Okay. And this time, if you're going to do a double click, you will be seeing a demo DB. Inside demo DB, you are going to see the tables you have created. Okay. So here also, if you will be executing this command, let's say you're using demo DB. Let's execute this command. And then if you're going to select star from customers, you can see the result. Okay. So you can execute your queries here too. So choice is yours. I have given you the exposure how RDS can be used as a relational database service for structured data where you are storing your data in a tabular form in the form of rows and columns. And I have also shown you how you can connect to the RDS database instance. Thank you very much. Okay, so now understand Redshift and explore how can we use Redshift for the OLAP solutions. So you can power data-driven decisions with the best performance cloud data warehouse. If you want to get through the features of Redshift, obviously you can go through this documentation. Okay, Redshift uses SQL. You can break through data silos and gain real-time and predictive insights on all your data in a few clicks. Okay, so what I will be showing you how to load the data from the S3 to Redshift. Let's quickly see that. So for that, go back to your AWS management console and you have to search Redshift in the search bar. Let's quickly navigate to Redshift dashboard. And to start this demo, we will be creating a Redshift warehouse cluster. Okay, what exactly we are going to do, if I'm going to show you with the help of an architecture diagram, everybody. So actually, we are copying the data from S3 to Redshift. So in a very simple way, let's say we have a S3 bucket. Let's take any of the bucket here. You can also take bucket with objects if you want. Okay, and we have a Redshift warehouse cluster. So what we are planning to do, we are planning to execute the copy command from S3 to Redshift, everybody. And then we are going to perform some analysis. Let me help you out. So we are going to execute the copy command as I told you. So without any further delay, let's move back to our AWS management console. And as I told you, we are going to start with creating the Redshift cluster or provision cluster. So go back to Redshift, expand these 3 lines and click on provision cluster dashboard. Okay. Create a cluster. If you don't have any cluster, you can create a new cluster. I will be taking you through this page and we are quickly going to create a cluster. Just give a name. Let's say Redshift cluster demo. Okay. You can choose the node type. Node type is talking about a specification of your cluster, which is a group of servers. Okay. So let's say I'm choosing this array3.large. Number of nodes means number of servers, which I'm choosing 1. It can range from 1 to 16 as all of you can see here. Scrolling down further, if you want to load the sample data, you can, but this time I am going to copy the data from S3 to Redshift. Okay. When it comes to database configuration, you can provide the username, you can provide the password. Again, they have given you different radio buttons. Like, do you want to manually add the admin password? Do you want to generate a password, or do you want to manage the credentials in the secret manager? Let me manually add the admin password. So I am giving a password here, which I will be using to connect to my Redshift cluster. Okay. Later in the permission, I have to give one permission. How can I give the permission? I can create an IAM role. Okay. Let me show you. Let's create an IAM role, everybody. I'm going to select access type for S3 bucket. If you want to give the read access, you can select read access. If you want to give the full access, you can give us the full access. Specify the S3 bucket for the IAM role to access. So either you can say any S3 bucket, okay, or you can say specific S3 bucket. If you have to provide the role to a specific S3 bucket, you can provide a specific S3 bucket. If you say no additional S3 bucket, it will be creating the IAM role without specifying S3 bucket. So either you can create a role first, then you can refer that role in the Redshift cluster dashboard, or you can create the role from here too. Also, you can attach the role later once your Redshift cluster would be available. So for example, I'm saying any S3 bucket for the time being. Okay. Say create IAM role as default. Obviously, you can change this role. It is saying an error occurred when creating the IAM role. Make sure that your identity has the privilege to create the IAM role. Okay. So in order to deal with this error, what we will be doing, we are going to create a role and we are going to attach the role here. Let me quickly check if I can use a refresh button here. Okay. So I'm going to IAM and let me show you creating a role, everybody. So go back to IAM dashboard, and from the left hand side, we are going to choose roles here. Let's create a role. The first thing you have to choose AWS service for which you're planning to create a role. So Redshift is a service. I'm choosing Redshift Customizable as a radio button. Let's say I'm providing S3 read access. Go to next. Give a role name, exploring Redshift demo role. Okay. And say create role. This role is created. Now this is a role we are going to use, everybody. Okay. So let's see if we can associate the role. Click on associate IAM role and let's search for the role you have created just now. Okay. You have to refresh the dashboard in order to see this role into picture. Okay. So one thing, if you're going to refresh, do a browser refresh, then all these configurations would be reset. Okay. So better, but I will be showing you once my Redshift cluster would be available, we will be associating the same IAM role. Okay. I am keeping the additional configurations as it is. I'm not changing the additional configuration for the time being and creating a cluster. So let's wait for this Redshift cluster to be created. I have to wait for the cluster to be available, everybody. So, in AWS, it is very easy to create a warehouse cluster and then perform the analysis on the historical aggregated data. So in the meantime, I'm going to help you out. We will be creating a table called order analytics. We are going to load the data from S3. Okay, obviously you have to change the role, ARN, you have to change this particular bucket name. Okay, and then you're going to perform some analysis like total sales by month, top customers by total spending, order by status. Okay, and this is my sample CSV file. Obviously, you can have a small data set or you can have a huge data set. Okay, but quickly I'm doing, everybody. In the meantime, my cluster is coming into available state. Let me create a S3 bucket very quickly. So go to S3 and create S3 bucket, everyone. So click on create bucket. Give a bucket name, let's say demo, exploring Redshift bucket. Okay, let's see if it is allowing me to create this bucket. Otherwise, I'm going to append the date to make it unique. Click on create bucket. This bucket got created. So very quickly, I am going to upload the data. So either you can do a drag and drop. Let me do it. Let's go back here. And this is my data set, my retail data.csv. Drag it and go back. Okay, let me just check that. Let me take this URL and say add files. Okay, and quickly select the data set. So this is a data set, everybody. Say upload. This data set got uploaded. Come back to your cluster and check the status. It is available. Okay, so you can associate the IAM role. How can you associate? I can guide you. Once your database would be available, you can explore different sections if you want, like cluster details. If you have to go to integrations, you can see we have all these integrations. Okay, you can go to resource policies. Okay, and if you want, you can explore other sections too. Let's say properties. Okay, these are the properties. Under properties, you have this associated IAM role. So let's say associate IAM role, everybody. And this time, search for the role you had created. Come back here. Okay, select it. Associate IAM role. So this role is associated. Soon this particular Redshift cluster will come into available state. It is modifying due to the changes you have made. And very quickly, what we are going to do, let's edit our query. What would be our query? In our query, we have to provide the path of this particular data set. So use this copy s3 URI. And here in the load query, we are going to say from this particular path. Next thing, we have to ensure we have provided the correct ARN of IAM role. Let's do that. So go to IAM role, take this ARN and paste this ARN here. Okay, come back again and check the status. Is it available or not? Let's refresh the browser in order to understand if your Redshift cluster is available after the modifications you have made. Yes, it is available. So without any further delay, let's use Query Editor version 2 to connect to your Redshift cluster. So using this Query Editor, I'm going to connect. Okay. So see, if you're coming here for the first time again, you can say added connection. It will be giving you this pop-up. Means at the starting, it can give you this pop-up. You have to choose a username and password, and then you have to provide a username and password, everybody. Okay. So let me expand this. If you want to see what is inside this Redshift cluster demo, this is our default database. This is our default schema. Okay. Inside this, we can have tables. Okay. So currently I have a 0 tables because I had not loaded any sample data. So let's create a table, everybody. It's a create table query. I'm going to select it and execute it. Okay. So you can see you have got a success result. And how can you verify? Let's expand this and let's see if any table got created. So yes, we have one table got created, everybody. Okay. And this is the order analytics. So currently, if I will be doing select star from order analytics, okay, and I am going to execute this query. Let me do it. I'm not getting anything, or it is giving me order analytics does not exist. Okay, it is orders actually. Let me execute again and let's see the result. If I'm going to get a result back, I'm getting the empty table. Okay, let's say if I have to load the data from S3, this is a command I'm going to use. Copy orders analytics from this particular path where my retail data.csv is present. This is a role for authentication, and I am passing the additional attribute called CSV and ignore header 1. The first line I want to ignore. Okay, let's execute it. And if everything would be fine, you will be able to see that data will be loaded from S3 to Redshift. If there will be any issue, we are going to troubleshoot the issue, everybody. So let's see what is the result we're going to get. Okay, it is saying 5 records loaded successfully. And how can we check it? Again, execute the select query. Can you see the data, everybody? This is the data inside my Redshift, which I have loaded from S3. Okay, now if you want to execute the analytics query, everyone, you can execute analytics query. Let's say total sales by month. This is my first query I'm going to execute. And let's see the result here. Okay, so we are going to execute this query and quickly see the result. What is the result we will be getting from this query? So we are getting month and total sales. So total sales by month. This was our query. Okay. In a similar manner, I can say total customers by total spending. Okay. So you are analyzing your data. You can also aggregate petabyte scale historical data here, and later you can run the analysis on top of it. Okay. One more power of Redshift is you can build the dashboard on top of the data present in the Redshift. It is a business intelligence service too. Okay. And finally, if you have to get the order by status, you can execute this query. And let's see the result we are going to get. Okay. So in a similar manner, if you want to execute more queries, you can in order to get the result back. So idea is I wanted to help you out how Redshift is used as a structured database service. But yes, with the advanced features of Redshift, even if you're going to go through the documentation, Redshift also supports the semi-structured data. Okay. And we had seen how can you load the data from S3 to Redshift. So let's keep this part till here. Thank you very much.